Joining us now here in the Situation Room is Roubi Chen. He's the father of the Israeli-American hostage, Itai Chen. Itai was just 19 years old and a soldier in the Israeli military when he was killed in the October 7th terror attack. His body was then taken by Hamas into Gaza. Roubi, thanks very much for joining us. I know you've been here in Washington for the past few days. You listened to Trump's joint address to Congress. You've had some meetings, I take it, at the White House as well as with Pentagon officials. What's your reaction, first of all, to this new U.S. policy during the Trump administration of having direct, not indirect, but direct talks with Hamas? Normally those talks go through Qatar or Egypt or some other country.
I welcome those talks. The U.S. in the past has also spoken to the Taliban when needed. There's a function inside of the State Department called SPIHA, which is the Special President Envoy for Hostage Affairs. And legally, they are allowed to speak to anybody in order to get U.S. hostages out. And if there is an impasse and the Israeli Prime Minister and Israel is not able to move talks, we do not want to see these talks stalled. So I welcome the President for thinking out of the box and willing to do what is needed in order to get the 59 hostages out, including five U.S. citizens, including my son.
Your son grew up where?
Grew up in Tel Aviv, but we have family here in New York, New Jersey, and we come here every summer.
So you're still hoping that perhaps you'll get some closure on this?
Yeah, we were notified by intelligence, but we do not have any evidence, concrete evidence. Hamas have not acknowledged or given any type of indication about my son, and we'll always have that hope or belief that until it's not done, it's not done.
I want to read to you, President Trump has issued what he's calling a last warning to Hamas to immediately release all the remaining hostages in Gaza. Let me read to you what he wrote earlier in the week. Release all of the hostages now, not later, and immediately return all of the dead bodies of the people you murdered, or it is over for you. Only sick and twisted people keep bodies, and you are sick and twisted. This is your last warning for the leadership. Now is the time to leave Gaza while you still have a chance. Also to the people of Gaza, a beautiful future awaits, but not if you hold hostages. If you do, you are dead. What's your reaction to that?
I think that the United States needs to tell anybody that takes U.S. citizens as hostages, this is a liability, not an asset, and there are consequences to the fact that you are holding U.S. hostages. And I welcome that type of language, and I do hope that Hamas are listening very carefully to what will happen to them if they do not release these U.S. hostages.
I know, Roubi, you've been in touch with other hostage families. What are they telling you about what they hope happens now?
Well, we saw this week that we saw returned hostages coming to Washington, and they actually met the president. And I would ask you, why is it that the returned hostages are actually getting on a plane, coming to the United States to meet President Trump, and not meeting the Prime Minister? It means that we have a lot of faith in this president and this administration to think differently, to get all of the hostages out, including my son, and being able to have the closure that all of us are looking for after over 500 days.
When you were at the White House this week, did you and your fellow hostage family members have a chance to meet with the president?
No, we met with the NSC folks, which is more of a working session. I understand why the returned hostages got the ability to meet the president, which was very important. They also met Mr. Steve Witkoff to listen to them one-on-one and hear the atrocities that they've gone through and what they needed to endure for such a long time. Even if this administration is at 100% effort, hopefully it moves them to 101 effort to get the hostages out. And they should not wait on the Israeli government and wait for them to lead. This is for the U.S. to lead, to get its citizens out, and hopefully that way all the other hostages will come out as well.
And I understand you were invited to a meeting at the Pentagon as well, is that right?
Yes, we see all the different components of the government working in togetherness. Like a football team, we got the quarterback, that's the president, you got the running back, you got the wide receiver, everyone is like moving together to make sure everyone's on the same page to get the hostages out and putting extreme pressure, financial, military, whatever is needed to get those hostages out.
Well, good luck in your efforts. Thank you so much, Roubi, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And give our love to the whole family, please.
My wife said the best as well.
And give her our